Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Sweet Story, your channel for insightful news analysis. We're tuning in tonight to a powerful address from the past, delivered by the late President Robert Gabriel Mugabe of Zimbabwe, a speech that continues to resonate with its call for global cooperation and a critique of power imbalances. In his address, President Mugabe didn't shy away from strong rhetoric, directly referencing a biblical figure. He asked, and I quote, "Are we having a return of Goliath to our midst who threatens the—" This immediately sets a tone of resistance against perceived threats to national sovereignty and international order. He then turned his attention to a specific world leader, stating, "And may I say to the United States President, Mr. Trump, please, blow your trumpet. Blow your trumpet in a musical way towards the values of unity, peace, cooperation, togetherness, dialogue which we have always stood for and which are well read in our very sacred document, the Charter of the United Nations." Here, Mugabe masterfully uses the metaphor of a trumpet to urge the US to champion the foundational principles of the United Nations, contrasting it with a more aggressive, perhaps dissonant approach. He emphasized that true greatness, even for a nation as powerful as the United States, lies in recognizing these shared values, and not by the promise of our damnation. Mugabe reiterated Zimbabwe's historical stance against domination, asserting, "Damnation we shall always resist no matter whence it comes. We have resisted it when it was in the form of imperialism, as we fought for our own independence, our own culture, our own sovereignty to be masters of our own destiny." This powerful assertion connects his present-day critique to Zimbabwe's struggle for independence, framing any perceived modern-day imposition as a continuation of historical imperialistic tendencies. He even warned, "Bring us another monster by whatever name, he will suffer the same consequences." This bold statement underscores Zimbabwe's unwavering commitment to self-determination. The Zimbabwean leader then turned his attention to the structure of global governance, particularly the United Nations Security Council. He declared that the current antiquated system perpetuates a historic injustice, one that can never ever be justified today. He drew a vivid analogy, stating, "The 2030 agenda represents new wine, and we call for a new wineskin, lest we ruin the new wine." This calls for systemic reform, advocating for a more equitable and representative international framework to accommodate new global challenges and aspirations. He reiterated Zimbabwe's unflinching support for the African Common Position on Security Council reform, commonly known as the Ulwini Consensus, highlighting a unified African stance on this critical issue. He questioned the sincerity of those who benefit from the current system, stating, "We are left to wonder, justifiably so, whether those who enjoy and sometimes abuse the power and privileges of the current setup are sincere interlocutors in these discussions." President Mugabe then delved into the paradox of global spending, observing, "It is axiomatic that we harvest what we sow. Yet by some strange logic, we expect to reap peace when we invest and expend so much in treasure and technology in war." He backed this with stark figures, noting that in 2016, global military expenditure was approximately $1.6 trillion, while overseas development assistance amounted to a mere $142.6 billion. This disparity, he argued, leads not to peace, but to heartbreaking suffering and misery, and increased mass movements of people fleeing wars and armed conflicts. He called for a halt to this trend, emphasizing the need for preventive diplomacy, peaceful resolution of conflicts, peace-building, and sustaining peace. Finally, Mugabe addressed the critical issue of climate change, directly referencing the United States' decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement. "We cannot remain silent when a major economic power in the world, or any other state for that matter, decides to abandon the Paris Climate Change Agreement. And that's the United States, the great United States, Mr. Trump's United States." He urged global unity on this front, stressing, "It is vital that we all play our part in keeping with the provisions of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change." He concluded with a powerful call for global solidarity, cooperation and multilateralism, asserting that Our survival and progress calls for reinforced solidarity, for partnerships and cooperation, for development in unity, in cooperation, and in peace. This address from President Mugabe serves as a profound reminder of the ongoing debates surrounding international relations, sovereignty, and global cooperation. It's a testament to the enduring power of words to challenge the status quo and advocate for a more just and peaceful world. What are your thoughts on President Mugabe's address and its relevance today? Join the conversation in the comments below. And if you appreciate this kind of in-depth analysis and historical perspective, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next sweet story. We bring you fresh perspectives and compelling narratives.